This is an exciting moment for our nurses. We have Mr. Al here. Thank you so much, Mr. Al, for welcoming us here. Tell them the good news. Tell them the good news.
Well, the good news is if you guys come out to our facility here at Aztec, we have an apartment for you. So that means that if you came out here, you won't have to pay rent.
Wow.
You won't have light bills. You won't have like you have phone because you have your cell phone, but you don't have a hard line. You don't have heating. We got the microwave. We got the washer. You don't have to wash. You got a washer at our apartment. They're gonna take you for a tour.
Oh my.
Good morning. Good morning.
Wow, it's really good morning to everybody. Good
Wow,
morning. Good morning.
that was a nice video, Mike.
I know. I remember when we're touring the place. It was amazing. It was New Mexico is so nice. I love it.
When were you there? When did you go? I see. Was this last year?
Yeah, last year around I think December. Yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
We tour the place. We meet with the team. We check out a lot of facilities there. We have several facilities that we have partner up. And this is a wonderful episode because we have a guest, Tony.
Yes, we have a guest, a special guest, one of our partners who was, working with us in New Mexico and other states. But if our viewers have noticed, last week we had an episode on New Mexico.
Yes.
And this week, and that was just Mike and myself and Miss Camille. But today we're bringing our main man, our main guy in, so you guys can see him. And for those nurses who are still on the fence, then they get to meet the employer, our employer representative today, so they get a feel of the culture of our facilities in New Mexico.
Exactly.
And the good news also I would like to say is that remember last week we talked about how we are giving some extra incentive for New Mexico. Green Door is going to pay for the visa screen and also for their IELTS. We're reimbursing those. That offer still stands until today, as of today.
Today. Wow.
Yes. So if we have new applicants, then they will still get those benefits that we are offering. We have some people already. I don't see the live Facebook part, so maybe you can say hi.
Hello. We have Ron Ocampo, Alisa Rodriguez Clar. We have a lot.
Oh wow.
Cleo,
hello guys.
Thank you, Cleo. Camille is on. Charlotte is on. Charlotte Ann, kamusta?
And maybe you guys, you can tell us where you are listening or watching from. I know it's nighttime in the Philippines, so it's about 12 past midnight in Manila, 12:35. So thank you for staying up to watch. I know some people were waiting for this episode. So
Yeah.
UAE, see, some are from UAE. I see
UAE.
that. Some are in Manila.
By the
Wow.
way, stay tuned for our Green Door Caravan. We're excited for that.
Our caravan. Yes, maybe Dylan can come with us. Dylan,
Yeah,
I'll
definitely.
ask him if he wants to go to UAE with us. It should be fun. Yes, yes.
By the way, Dylan is not just a partner, he's a very good friend. I know Dylan for over 3 years now. And Dylan will share more about his experience being an executive partner, and at the same time, he's our industry in a skilled nursing facility. And I know I can feel his love and his passion for our nurses, our patients, our community, and also not just the facility, and he's there for us, and he's there for you also and your family. And by the way, let's welcome Dylan. By the way, Mr. Dylan is here. How are you, sir?
Hi guys, thank you for that kind introduction. I really appreciate that, Mike. So my name's Dylan. I'm the director of recruitment. I work on behalf of the employer, OPCO Skilled Management. We have over 30 nursing centers. We're actually growing out in New Mexico. I believe our portfolio is approaching around 10 nursing centers. What we typically look for when it comes to nurses is a caring heart, someone that really looks at our residents like they're their own family members. When I say that, our regional team, our operations team actually places their own family in our nursing centers because they're that confident in the care that we provide. So we're really looking at establishing long-term relationships with nurses from anywhere, but I particularly like the Philippines. Some of our hardest workers are Filipino, and they've given the best care that I've seen, and English has been great. I've had wonderful interactions with Mike, and it's certainly a region that I prioritize bringing nurses in. So we're not necessarily looking for people that have 5, 10, 15 years of experience. We're looking for people that genuinely care and have a customer service attitude, really trying to give the best care possible. Skilled nursing, we have 30 buildings. There's not a shortage of work. We always have overtime available.
Nice.
And I'm always available anytime you guys have any questions about any one of our particular buildings. We pride ourselves on quality outcomes, and I'm not just saying that. You can look at some of our facilities through CMS, through the government online. You'll see that some of our buildings are 5-star quality measures across the board.
Wow.
We typically run almost full on our census side, 95% census in New Mexico. We're one of the few skilled nursing centers that barely utilize any agency across our portfolios. We have a strong emphasis on employee development and training. We have nurse consultants available for just even 2 buildings. So it's not just the director of nursing that's available. We also have director of clinical education. We have nurse consultants only covering 2. So we have a lot of regional support. We're looking at growing and developing a Filipino community, which is why we're taking care of housing in some of these communities. We want people to come out and build a community of people to provide excellent care. Culture is a huge thing for us as well. We partner with several companies. We have Quality with Outcomes, which will actually do regular surveys to check in with you guys, not just us, to see what is important to you. And we'll measure that over a period of time and see if it matches with what we're actually implementing at our facility level. I also encourage nurses, especially new nurses from abroad, to get in touch with me if they see anything that might be off-putting. For instance, I've heard things such as, I don't know where the medication is, or I'm not familiar with the med cart, or why are we sharing or dispensing the same medications across multiple nurses? These are things that I would like to know about, because as an employer, we're not perfect, but we try to be, and we can't fix a problem unless we know about it. So I like to look at this as a collaboration between you and I. Absolutely open to any feedback. We're always looking to change. We're an adaptable organization, and I think that's pretty much it. I'm very excited to meet you guys.
Nice. That's really nice.
Thank you, Dylan. I would like to add, Mike, aside from Dylan being passionate, you forgot how much of a pleasure he is to work with. It's such a pleasure to work with, and is just as committed to taking care of our nurses, bringing them over and understanding that it's not a simple decision, it's a life change. And so, after a few discussions. We have the 2-year contract instead of the standard 3 in the industry. We only ask for 2 years commitment from the nurses. The housing for a lot of for some locations, and then for those locations with no 6 months housing, Green Door kicks in, and we try to assist with our own 1-month housing just to get the nurses acclimated and settled. So yeah, such a pleasure. Dylan, is always a pleasure to work with him and deal with him. So I'm yeah, and Dylan, can I know how many nurses have you interviewed so far for New Mexico?
Well, if you're talking, I've been interviewing Texas primarily lately. 257,
Yeah, so
257 nurses.
Oh, see, and you have OPCO is a mother company of all these facilities.
Correct. We have multiple portfolios. So we have Oasis and Arrowhead out in Texas. We have Canyon Creek in New Mexico, and then Redwoods up in Missouri. Right now, New Mexico is our primary focus. It tends to be a little bit more rural out there than Texas. But yeah, we're continuing to expand, adding more buildings to our portfolio. So Alamogordo is going to be another area that's hitting for us as well. So we'll be looking at bringing in a handful of new nurses.
Oh, so these are the locations, Mike, of the skilled nursing facilities in New Mexico.
We also have in Taos as well. That's not indicated on there. We have 2 new acquisitions, one in Roswell and one in Alamogordo, that we'll also be looking at bringing nurses in as well. Pretty cool areas, especially if you like snowboarding.
Roswell, wasn't there a TV show Roswell at some point? Is that set in New Mexico? Anyway, so let's go back to that screen so they see it again. So we have Hobbs, Lovington, Aztec, and Albuquerque, all in New Mexico. And then we forgot to add here, we have Taos, which I've been to. It's a beautiful place. It's up there, but it's beautiful. Taos, New Mexico. And then Dylan added that there are a couple more facilities that they would add at some point. So we are aggressively hiring for New Mexico. I hope a lot the nurses that are watching here, now that they've met Dylan, even before interview, a lot of their nurses, Dylan, what happens is that they have not met the interviewer, but now they have a glimpse of who they're talking to, who they're going to be talking to. So hopefully that will push them to apply now, right, Mike?
Yes, definitely. And if you can see, Dylan is pretty hands-on, and I know there's a lot of inquiry about skilled nursing facility. Dylan, can we help them and enlighten them about our staffing ratio? Because when we visited all of these facilities, we met our team there. You guys are really supportive of our nurses, especially when the ratio is up. Can you share a little bit about nurse ratio?
Sure. Well, I can't give you a specific number because it's going to vary across building and also varies across acuity. So it really depends. We don't want to throw new nurses in there and give them the same ratios as our regular staff members. We want to work with them and train them directly, make sure they're really comfortable before they get in there. It could really vary, maybe between 10 to 15, depending on if they're working like night shift, day shift. Again, it really depends on the acuity of the patient for that particular role.
And one thing I love about our OPCO is there's a nurse support. Whenever there's a lot of a patient comes in, there's a support that helps our nurses in the floor, which is pretty amazing. You don't just leave your nurses there, without any help.
Absolutely. You would have a little bit higher patient ratio than you would in, say, a hospital, but it definitely allows you to work on your medication dispensary and really learn a lot of skills. We try not to overwhelm nurses as well, so we partner you with one of our experienced nurses, and we're always open to feedback. If you felt like maybe it was too challenging for you, you didn't have adequate training, we're always there for you.
So you're invested in the success of these nurses as well.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
They're not just a number to me. I'm a face. I give my nurses my direct cell line so they can call me anytime, whether I'm on a conference call or anything. I will get back to them in the same day and let them know, respond to text, email, phone calls. So I'm always there for my nurses. I'm the greatest advocate in my company for them. I'm a firm believer. If you don't have happy nurses, you're not going to have happy patients. You're going to have terrible outcomes.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Um,
amazing.
Dylan, a lot of our nurses, they look at skilled nursing, and then they compare it to hospitals, and they always, a lot of them want to work for hospitals over skilled. Not a lot, but a good number. So, I mean, what can you say about that? How do we
I would
convince
say
them? Yeah, go ahead.
I would say that if you're looking at a hospital versus a skilled nursing center, I just interviewed a nurse out here in Austin the other day. They left one of the hospitals out here, Seton Hospital, to go to our nursing center because they mentioned they wanted to build those long-term relationships. They wanted to see the patient. They want to see the impact of their care on the community that they're serving, and that's not always available at the hospital because they're in today, they're gone tomorrow, and you can really see a measurable impact. I mean, if you don't have enough nurses there, people can digress. They develop wounds, in-house wounds. So you can also monitor that when they come in the building. How has the wound transpired over the period of time? You know the person's name, you know their family, you're interacting with them. So it's definitely more personal than, say, working in a hospital. And I would say that there is a negative stigma surrounding skilled nursing centers. A lot of people have a false image of what it's actually like because not every nursing center is the same. They think maybe it's dirty, not clean, it's unhygienic, there's shortage of staffing. Again, a lot of our buildings, almost all of our buildings are agency free. So they're pretty well staffed, and a lot of the hospitals are not, which means they're pretty much going to mandate you to do overtime. I like to offer overtime as an incentive. I don't mandate it across our buildings.
Exactly.
I want you to have a schedule that works for you. We want to work with you and give you as much overtime as you'd like, but we don't want to overwhelm you. We don't want you to get burnt out. I believe burnout is very real, especially nowadays. So it's very important to take, your availability and your schedule and work with you.
Well, so there are nurses, and forgive me, I'm not I'm a green door, but I'm not very clinically, informed. I don't know these technical stuff, but you and Mike do. So let me ask. So there are nurses who move from the hospitals to actually are moving towards to nursing facilities, skilled nursing facilities.
That is correct. Yes, I've had them actually accept offers for less than what their pay stub was at the hospital because they just felt it was overwhelming, and they didn't get to see, build those relationships with the patients that they were serving, the community. So it's a little bit different. It's not everything you envision.
Right. And Dylan, I talked to this one applicant. She is a student here in the U.S. and she was looking for an employer. And I told her about skilled nursing facility, and she said, "Well, I'm concerned about not learning," because she's looking at the trajectory of her career and said, "Oh, if I start at a nursing facility, I may waste my 2 years." I don't think that's right. There's so much learning to be done.
My wife was actually a Filipino nurse. She started off at a skilled nursing center, and now she's doing travel nursing centers for hospitals and skilled nursing centers. So she's traveling all over the place, and she started up in California with a company called Mariner in skilled nursing. It was one of her first jobs, and she absolutely loved it. She actually said she enjoyed working there more than she did at the hospital.
Yeah.
So
and I think
one of the best way to learn.
And also, I think we need to educate our nurses as well, especially if they're outside the U.S., because they don't have any idea what's a skilled nursing. Maybe you can give them idea what is a skilled nursing facility, Dylan, because all of them, okay, I'm going to go to the States, I'm going to work in the hospital. Actually, skilled nursing facility, which I started working in a skilled nursing facility, and I love it. It's a way to start your career and your skills as well. Maybe coming from you, you can share them more about what is a skilled nursing facility.
Sure. So we offer, it depends again on the facility that you're working at, but we offer long-term care, short-term care as well. So maybe your mother broke her hip and you're looking for some rehabilitation. It's a short-term stay, or maybe you need care and you're going to stay there for a while. So that's pretty much it. We have top of the line rehab departments across our facilities, and there's really no end to where we can go. We're actually looking at increasing the size of our buildings as well. So if you're looking to maybe enter a management role, we're creating new assistant director of nursing roles. Director of nursing. You can even move up to a nurse consultant as well. We've had a couple RNCs that are, from the Philippines as well. So we would be more than happy to work with you in whatever direction you like to expand.
Nice. Very good. So actually, Dylan, we're live. There's a lot of comments right now in our Facebook page. And let's say hi to them. And maybe if you have some, if you have some question, type your
There's
question.
a question here, Dylan. He says, where is your wife from in the Philippines?
Oh, wow.
I think we lost him a little bit. He says his screen froze. Guys, just to let you know, there's a big storm here right now. It's nothing to be scared of, but we're getting, at this time of the year, it should be drier, but we're getting a crazy amount of rain in the West, California, and I'm sure Dylan, who's in Texas right now, I'm sure he's getting a lot of rain there too. So bear with us if we have some kind of any kind of technical difficulties or lag. It's been crazy weather. Dylan, someone's asking, where is your wife from in the Philippines? Do you know?
Was it Quezon Province?
Quezon.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Quezon Province. So his wife is from the Luzon area. Very good. Okay, Mike, while Dylan is figuring out his connection, let's look at our comments. What's going on in our live Facebook feed, Mike? Do you have let's say hi to our watchers.
Din. Watching from California. Hello, Din. Kamusta?
Din?
Good morning. From Trinity Health. Oh, Ralph. Hi, Mr. Ralph.
Hi, Ralph. How are you? We'll see you Monday.
Hello from Cebu. Ayon, Miss Carmen and Nurse Mike, do you accept nurses without bedside experience? That's a perfect question for Dylan.
Let's ask Dylan that.
I think it's catching up with
Yes, we do.
Wow.
We look for a caring heart and a can-do attitude. So we're willing to work with you if you have no experience. Again, we would adjust you based on your need and whatever training you need. So we wouldn't just throw you in. If someone else had bedside experience, we'd spend a little bit less time with them.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Dylan.
There's another question for you, Dylan. Can you what are the names of our skilled nursing facilities in New Mexico? Can you just rattle it off for them?
Sure.
Yes.
So, absolutely. So if you want to take a look at us, you can check it out. Lovington Healthcare, it's in Hobbs. We have White Sands Healthcare, Desert Springs Healthcare. All three of those buildings out in Hobbs are 5-star nursing centers across the board. Mm-hmm. We also have we also have Aztec Healthcare, which is in Aztec, Taos Healthcare up in Taos. And then we have 2 new acquisitions coming on. I don't want to share the names quite yet because we haven't closed on those buildings, but those are the ones that are going to be out in Alamogordo and Roswell as well.
Fiesta Park, Dylan. Is that what I don't know?
Our Albuquerque friends. So we have Fiesta Park out in Albuquerque and Odelia as well. So we have those 2 buildings out there.
Yes.
To be honest, I love Albuquerque and Fiesta Park. It's really nice.
It's where they filmed Breaking Bad.
Yes.
It is, yes.
Yes. Yeah. There is a little store there that's Breaking Bad store. I was there 3 years ago and they had this Breaking Bad store there, which was quite fun. Din, hello, good morning to all. Thank you for helping nurses, especially from the Philippines.
Thank you so much.
Great information about SNFs. Joanna Gallardo, Dylan is asking, I would like to ask regarding rate per hour of nursing facilities versus hospital, sir.
Sure. So typically, if you're being sponsored, you're going to be paid whatever the prevailing wage is for that state, whether you're working at a hospital or a skilled nursing center. So to answer that question, it really depends on the specialty that you're going in. So if you're working in a hospital, if you're working in the neuro center, you're working med surge, all the rates are very different. I was actually surprised because my wife, when we came out here to Austin, they offered her like $29 an hour as an RN, and she was making $44 as an RN working in a skilled nursing center. So the rates, they vary. You can make more at a hospital, you can make more at a skilled nursing center. It really depends on your specialty and what that particular center is offering.
Right.
Yeah, depends
Right.
on the state too.
Yeah.
It does.
Standard
It
of
also
living.
indicates that as well.
The cost of living is different. In California, you earn 40 an hour, but say in Los Angeles, your one small bedroom apartment is at least 2,200. So, compared to say New Mexico, let's just say Albuquerque. Do you have any idea how much a one bedroom apartment in Albuquerque is? I would say it's about. Do you have any idea, Dylan or Mike?
I would say a range, maybe like 700 to 1,500. It really depends on what your lifestyle choices are.
By the way, we haven't mentioned that yet.
It's going to be a little bit more expensive, right?
Yes. So, say in LA, a one bedroom apartment will be where I'm at in K-Town would be about 2,500. You need parking if you're, otherwise you'd have to fight for parking in the streets every day. So 2,500 compared to say 1,500 max tops if you live large in Albuquerque. So it's a big difference right there. So that makes up for lower prevailing wage in New Mexico, Albuquerque, compared to a $40 prevailing wage in Los Angeles. It all evens out somehow. So I think it's all about location. A lot of people are looking at, what is New Mexico? Are we safe in New Mexico? Are we safe even in the United States? They're asking me this, Dylan. There's a lot of things going on. Mike, remember there was this one nurse that you talked to on the phone.
I know. We need to clarify that, by the way. But both places are nice. But New Mexico, they thought it's in outside the U.S., which is
they thought it's in Mexico.
Yes. I didn't expect that, but it's okay.
You guys are good. You guys, we've never had any issues, anyone getting hurt because of the community living and serving any one of our nursing centers. So, certainly a safe area. I saw a question come in: or do we do 8 or 12-hour shifts? The answer is we do both. It really depends on the building that you're working at. Typically, we do 12 hours. Typically, it's 12-hour shifts.
And then 12-hour shifts, Dylan. So is that like then three days a week, or 4 days a week? If it's 12, right?
3 days. Yeah, 3 days. Sometimes we do double weekend. Again, it depends on the building you're going at. When I say double weekend, that would be 16 hours a month.
I think what they're asking, can they work more days, Dylan?
Oh yeah, no overtime. We would work with your schedule, like I mentioned earlier. Aztec, we could. Yeah, there's ample hours for you. That wouldn't be an issue.
Yes. Yeah, I think our nurses is excited to get started.
Yeah, there's one question, Dylan, for you. What's the ceiling age for applicants? I mean, do you like the ceiling, the top, like how young do you want or how old? I think that's the question. What's the ceiling age?
We actually had a director of nursing for one of our buildings, and she was one of the best. I think she was 65.
There you go.
She was 65, and I'll tell you, she was amazing. Like, we had great outcomes. She was really on top of it, and she was there at the same building for like 15 years.
I think the question, Dylan, when in the Philippines, when you submit. You apply for a job, in your resume, you're required to put your photo in there and then your age. So, just explain how in the United States, we cannot discriminate, right? Yes. We don't ask for photos.
You pass your NCLEX and you're a good person, you actually want to provide great care, there's no barrier for you entering our facilities.
That's right. Oh, we have a lot of comments here.
It's a good way to start working in SNF if you're a new nurse. Okay, thank you, Lors. But where are you from, Lors?
Let's see. Oh, there's a nurse here from Cebu. That's where I'm from, my island. Hello, how are you? Thank you for watching. Someone's watching live from Indianapolis. Eliza, if you are an F1, come. We need you. Apply now. We need F1 for our New Mexico facilities. There are great opportunities here. She is in Indianapolis.
There's Glenn. Hello.
Glenn is watching from Vancouver. We accept TN visas also. So
yes, exactly.
You're ready to accept your applications. Yeah.
By the way, let me ask Dylan.
California.
Dylan, what's your favorite Filipino food? Maybe our viewers wants to know.
Oh boy, I can't even
Oh,
remember
boy.
the names. My wife and I just eat it. I got to be honest with you. I'm like, man, I'm just so used to eating Captain Crunch on my own. I'm not, I'm not a cook myself, so it's so nice to be spoiled. I tell you.
Wow.
So Dylan, you are in Texas now, right? You are in Texas.
I am,
You guys
yeah.
have moved to Texas from California.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. What made you move?
Can you hear
I
me?
think it's cutting off.
Yeah, he's lagging, and as again, it's the rain. It's the rain.
Sorry.
Oh, one question: what's the usual weather
Can
in
you hear me now?
Albuquerque?
Yes, yes.
What's the usual weather in Albuquerque?
I would say generally it's pretty sunny out there. I don't personally live in Albuquerque, so I can't go look outside my door. But yeah, I mean, it's the weather's nice.
Yes, Albuquerque. I think it's a lot of sun. It could get cold in the winter, but not super cold. It's mild, right? So it's good weather in general.
It's the same thing with California. If you do a lot of research, California is almost the same. Yes.
Okay. I
Hey,
think,
it's exciting, and I hope you guys learn from this, and I hope this is helpful for you. And we're looking forward to interview more nurses. By the way, we have a lot of opportunities coming your way. And lastly, Dylan, thank you so much for helping our nurses, especially those free housing for some of the areas. By the way, thank you so much for really, really working for making this happen.
My pleasure.
So Dylan, these
Absolutely.
are these are exclusive benefits for New Mexico. Of course, green card sponsorship, and that includes you and your children under 21 and your spouse. Everyone can come. It's a 2-year contract. It's 6 months of free housing for Aztec Hubs in Lovington. It's 1 month free housing for Albuquerque. And then pre-employment support, and from Green Door, IELTS and Visa Screen sponsorship. So that's it. And then if you can go back to here, apply, you send your resume to hello@greendoor.global and use Green Door New Mexico last name, first name as subject. So we know that you watched us, and then you can take advantage of that NCLEX and IELTS sponsorship that we're offering for a limited period of time. Well, do you have anything else? Well, it's always a pleasure. As I said, passion, double P for Dylan is passionate and always a pleasure to work with. That's all I can say about this guy.
Amazing.
So we are just so blessed for Green Door to be a part of the UPCO family. And together, I see that we are working together to help our nurses. And I like what you said, Dylan. We're not perfect. But we always try.
Yep. Got to aim to do better every day.
Yeah, I love that. So, thank you so much, Dylan, for joining us. Parts, Nurse Mike, any parting words?
Oh, thank you, Dylan. It's always a pleasure.
Before we end this, we just want to announce that we have more opportunities coming. We will announce that in a few weeks, but I advise all nurses to always strike while the iron's hot. Right now, there's opening in New Mexico. Don't wait around for the next one. The visa bulletin is open. The visas for Filipinos are open until March. Who knows what happens in April? But don't worry about it. Right now, there's an opening. Let's grab it. Strike while the iron's hot. And if any questions, you can email Mike or me or message us on Facebook. We're always happy to answer your questions.
By the way, for now, follow Mike Austria page because that's the Facebook I'm using. All right, we can help you answer some of your questions. By the way, thank you,
Okay.
thank you, attorney.
Thank you so much, Dylan. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Dylan, thank you. Talk soon.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.